What is up, guys? It is me, Faith and Moliminous. I know it's been almost 2 weeks. I'm sorry, I'm slacking. I'm not making videos like I used to. But hey, that will change soon, probably. I've been saying that for the past year and a half, but that's how long projects take that are worth anything. Anyways, guys, there's been a lot of stuff going on since MLP has been ending or has ended. There's been a lot more leaks. I mean, leaks beyond what you could have thought. Now, it's nothing crazy. We don't have completed episodes of Generation 5 already. As much as I wish we did, I'd love to see that. If only just to highlight the irony of the fact the song at the very end is all about them staying together even though they're really far apart, and how friends should always come back, and the fighting against racism when they segregate themselves by planets, apparently, in Generation 5. That is the main concept. Not only a place for every race, I guess. Who knew Hasbro was that far right? But in the leaks, which are literally hundreds of gigs of files and images, we have all kinds of incomplete story ideas or completed story ideas that were never really used, concepts that were just never really introduced, the original versions of shows and episodes that were supposed to take place. Now, I can't go over all of that. Even if I was to live stream it, it would take forever to actually go through, analyze all of this, and give it to you. So I'm gonna go ahead and direct you guys, if you want to get the full picture, over to my good friend Reddit over here, because we know if I say its actual name, I get flagged, because that's a no-no site. But I'm sure you guys can figure it out. But there are a few things that I would want to go over because I find them interesting. And again, these are all just concepts that were never used, and it's not like it's really spoiling anything because it will never happen. One of the cut story arcs or stories that were supposed to be done was Mayor Maybe Not, is episode 306. And it was supposed to be a musical. Now, there's not a lot of details, or at least I didn't really read too far into this. I just thought the concept of MLP actually doing a musical would have been kind of interesting. I mean, obviously the show is all about music. There's tons of great music, and in fact, that's one of the main hooks that got some of the show writers, as they stated. One of them only worked on a bunch of, stereotypical boys shows, still for kids, but more heavily leaning towards boys. Transformers, G.I. Joes, etc. And the thing that swept him into the pony craze was the fact that he heard one of the pony songs and he was like, I want to be part of that show. Now, what he won't mention is also the amount of zeros that were tacked onto his paycheck. But here's another premise that I saved because I thought this was interesting. It's called The Royal Apples. When Big Mac finds a battered old crown buried in the fields, Granny Smith knows that he has uncovered an important family artifact. She had always heard that great-great-great-grandpa Macintosh was a king of some kind, and now he has the crown to confirm it. They're all royalty, and they better start acting like it. Granny Smith has a few ideas regarding how royalty should behave, and none of it happens in an apple field. Soon, the rest of Ponyville buys into the hype, and they start treating the whole family like princes and princesses. And Applejack doesn't like it. Applejack and Apple Bloom are stalked by the pony Ozzy, I guess the pony paparazzi, invited to tons of parties and forced to behave in a certain way. Because being an element of harmony, friend with the princesses, and the soon-to-be only acting ruler of Equestria weren't enough to be stalked by the paparazzi or to be invited to fancy parties. Applejack is no good at the royal lessons she's getting or the formal events she has to attend, and longs to be in the fields again. While she's occupied, it's up to her friends to uncover the real truth behind the crown. Nightmare Night costume and set her free. Note, this episode might be a good opportunity to explain some of the princess's mythology that will pay off in the season finale. Oh boy, man, we didn't get any of that. We never even get clarification on why Luna and Celestia are really retiring, because they're not owed. It's never stated that they're owed. They just want to go away. Now, there was a premise that does touch on that, but that was never used. Oh, actually, here we go. Here's some information on the Mayor Maybe Not. I guess I did save it. Maybe I should actually review these videos before I record them, but I probably won't. So when the mayor of Ponyville is called away for a conference in Canterlot, Princess Celestia suggests that Twilight take over for a while she is gone. Twilight relishes the job and is pleased to be overseeing the day-to-day functions of the town. But as her tenure as mayor continues, her friends start asking her to use the new position of power to get them things that they want. She already does that. Why would she even need to be a mayor? I love these premises. They're interesting. They're nice to see them do something new, like a musical, giving us backstory on the princesses. But Twilight is in of herself the product of bias or nepotism, whichever word fits the best. Her father was part of the royal observatory or whatever, and her brother is captain of the royal guard. Do you think it was just coincidence that she also became the personal protege of the princess? I mean, Princess Celestia was just happening to walk by the testing at that time. Sure, she's talented, but come on. And all her friends all have influential spots. Rainbow Dash lived in a mansion long before she ever even got into the Wonderboats, but not like let's just look at Applejack. Applejack controls majority of the food production for the entire town. Rarity has multiple fashion stores. Fluttershy controls all kinds of the animals with an entire national reserve. Pinkie Pie is this international party planner. And apparently the Ponyville gets in an uproar over the fact that Rainbow Dash and all the main six are getting special treatment. No, they should be in an uproar now, because it's very clear that they get preferential treatment. Bizarro Ponyville. I really saved this whole thing just because of the name. I figured this is like some sort of Bizarro DC kind of thing where everything's backwards. Maybe the main six are villains. After a late night spell studying session, Twilight wakes up the next morning to find that something very strange has happened in Ponyville. Rarity is now running Sweet Apple Acres. Fluttershy is training with Wonderbolts, blah blah blah. You get the point. What in the hoof is going on? That is the first time I've ever heard them use hoof like that. Twilight gets to the bottom of the mystery and discovers that she has accidentally cast a spell that has switched the destinies of all her friends. Well, I can see why they didn't use this, because they used this plot with Discord, so it wouldn't really work anymore. This is episode 312 premise. Princess Cadance is searching for a new member of her royal staff and has asked Princess Celestia to help her ultimately choose the right candidate for the job. Princess Celestia agrees to come to the Crystal Empire and hoping to enjoy some quality time with her favorite student at the same time. She invites Twilight to join her. Twilight is equally looking forward to the chance to get some one-on-one time with her mentor and teacher. But when Princess Celestia mentions that she really wanted this time with Twilight because Twilight won't be her student forever and will soon need to forge her own path, she makes poor Twilight nervous. Once Twilight is no longer Princess Celestia's student, what will her role in Equestria be? Then it hits her. Princess Cadance is interviewing for a new member of her staff. Twilight would be probably perfect for the job. But when Twilight suggests this to Princess Celestia, she's surprised to find that her teacher disagrees. Pretty much, Twilight gets a little bit butthurt because Celestia actually says, nah, you ain't ready for Cadance's job. You're not ready to even serve underneath her. So she tries to prove her wrong by going into her fears and wanting to get the job, and she becomes one of the top 2 candidates. But this kind of also makes the last episode of this show not make sense, because Twilight was all in a frenzy about not being able to see her friends every day, despite the fact that she can teleport. Here's just Hasbro saying how they want to reduce and reuse old stuff for their new dolls, like reducing the amount of stars so that they can make the pattern simpler, reduce the size of the cutie mark so that they can look better when they're turning the torso, and reusing the hair. It's all interesting. The design is artistically, I guess, done well enough, but God, is that outfit gaudy. If you guys didn't know, those Rick and Morty background ponies are in fact Rick and Morty. In fact, Rick and Morty and Waldo had to be removed from a number of scenes because I guess it just got too much. In case you're curious, Hasbro likes to visit image boards, so I guess we not only have Glow in the Darks there, but we have some other CEOs lurking on Threads, so make sure you give them a warm welcome, as I'm sure you guys will do. They're referencing Twilight Kane images from certain image board sites. I don't even know if I can say the last 4 letters of that site. I don't know if that's okay on the YouTubes, but that just was something that was interesting to me. If you look here, here's one of the ending shots with all the characters that are of any kind of importance. You have Flurry Heart, Nightlight, Twilight Velvet, Century, Luna, Celestia, and oh, who's that? Sunset Shimmer, who is now actually canon, as you can see in the ending of the last episode. Owlicious, who fucking died and never appeared again. Not even in the finale, I don't think. Here's something interesting. They actually had some things called the Elements of Disharmony, and these are the MLP Season 9 springboards. If I remember correctly, the springboards are simply just like launching points for ideas and creations. So obviously none of this was used, but hey, here we go. Let's go ahead and read through all of them. The beginning of the end, part 1. As Harmony covers Equestria, the sun and the moon begin to rise by themselves. Oh, that's a interesting thing. Altering Princess Celestia and Luna's and Discord's, their polar opposite, that their time in this realm is coming to a close. Meanwhile, mysterious villain by the name of Grogar has assembled an army of baddies to defeat the main 6 by working together. Sombra resurrected to be part of this team, goes rogue and destroys the Tree of Harmony, leaving Twilight and her friends powerless, despite the fact that they say multiple times that the elements live inside of them and that the tree isn't the reason why they have power. But hey, I guess we forget concepts all up in here. All right, well, that being said, the villain arc, beginning of the end, part 2. Sombra attacks the Crystal Empire bent on its kingdom. The main 6 and Discord make a stand against him, but when Discord is taken out, Twilight and her friends hold the line despite the danger. The friendship they share powers them up, revealing that even though the Tree of Harmony is destroyed, the elements live within them. Yeah, we already know that. You've already used that plot so many times. We get it already. We get it. Believe in yourself. Just believe it. Rebuilding, though it's summer break at the School of Friendship, the young 6 return because they've heard the Tree of Harmony was destroyed. They felt a bond with the tree ever since it appeared to them and tested them in Season 8, and they want to pay their respects. Each has a different idea of how to memorialize the tree, which puts them at odds. Finally, when they work together, they combine their talents. They build a small clubhouse of the tree's fragments. Their friendship powers up the creation, and it magically grows into an amazing treehouse, a place for them to be together. Perfect symbol of the tree's harmony. Episode 200, a short, funny collection of character-based stories as pitched by the actors of the main 6. A possible frame story could involve some kind of truth spell that makes the characters reveal their stories. Or it could be stories the young 6 have uncovered as a report on your teacher's assignment. That would have been great. I would have actually enjoyed how they did that. Bad advice, Starlight Glimmer is too busy with work/obligations. In a tired moment, she gives a student some bad advice, which disastrous results. It's up to Starlight and Trixie to set things right. Point of no return. Some of these are going to be the same. The only problem is the library's closed. Quibble Pants goes to Rainbow Dash for advice. That's the Cuck episode. Here's one that's pretty interesting. It's a Trial by Fire, which is where I read about the Chrysalis thing. Smolder invites Spike to the Dragonlands for a visit during the school break. Fluttershy tags along. It's a baby dragon hatching season, and she loves baby dragons. When the trio arrives, Spike spots Garbo and asks Smolder if they can steer clear of him. They have a bad story. And that's where obviously it reveals his brother, and that's where you get. But when Chrysalis returns to take over the dragons as her new subject with the help of Grogar's gifted element of disharmony, Spike and Fluttershy must work with Garbo to save the day. That's interesting. I would have really enjoyed a villain arc like that with the elements of disharmony. Cozy Glow. Oh my god, I cannot talk. Growing up is hard to do is the CMC growing up until Cozy Glow, I still couldn't say, returns with an element of disharmony and attacks the town because she heard some of the main 6 were there. Again, this element of disharmony keeps on popping up in some of these storylines, and if you want to read all of the ones in which it does, you can go to my good friends over at Reddit. Also in the finale, the prologue, Rainbow Dash and Applejack are actually confirmed to be subtly hinted at as being we actually could do some sort of subtle wink to the idea that they are now a couple. That's what they wanted to do. So for certain anons out there who still are in denial, yes, Rainbow Dash and Applejack are in fact a couple, I guess. And Fluttershy was supposed to get a kiss from Discord in that finale scene as well. And unfortunately, I got some bad news. We were supposed to get like some sort of Fluttershy in the shower scene in one of the episodes. And it was supposed to just be a focus on just her in the shower. I don't know why they thought that would be okay, but obviously they cut it back, they toned it down, and they put her behind a curtain as well. But hey, maybe you guys, you guys would have loved that. They do have, just for confirmation, Trump is supposed to be Naysay. Yes, this was supposed to all be about Trump and building that wall and everything like that. Wow, who would have thought such? Honestly, I didn't get that vibe. I understood where it could go, but it just seemed like normal. Naysay actually didn't really have too bad of points, at least in the fact that Twilight was definitely not a qualified teacher, nor were any of the main six. Not only that, they did literally abandon the school anytime they had to run off to do an adventure, so it's kind of right in that. Anyways, that's all the stuff. This is the season that we could have had, and episodes that we could have had, so it's kind of like the deleted scenes, which is what I will probably talk. As always, again, go to my good friends at Reddit if you want to see everything. There is literally, I think, like 400 gigs of deleted content that you can peruse through. It will take you a while to actually torrent it all, but hey, enjoy it, have fun with it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Be sure to follow me on Amino at Moliminous, or follow me on Twitter at Moliminous as well. Look, you can find me by just searching Moliminous and following all my social media. And as always, I love your faces, so I hope you at least like my video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Woo! Hey.